Hello and welcome to Falcons Ledge. I'm Austringer and today we are doing our second episode of the F-16 Learn With Me series. We're going to continue our learning process in the DCS F-16, so let's get right to it. We continued through the available in-game training missions. I don't want to bore you with the full walkthroughs of each training mission. If this is something you'd like to see, please comment in the comments section down below. Otherwise, I'll just be giving a quick overview of the process. What I'm trying to provide here is the steps to learn. I think these missions do a decent job at introducing you to the systems and getting you into the process of operating the systems of the Viper. We started out with the CCIP bombing mission, where we dropped some bombs on practice targets. Shack! We moved on to CCRP bombing, where we learned about dropping bombs from altitude with preset targets. A lot of differences here is in the procedure, typically dropping while level rather than in a dive. There are other methods for using CCRP that do include dive and climb, like toss bombing, but most of the practice here was from level flight. In this mission, we also learned about some of the features of cluster bombs and how to configure them. We moved on to the HARM missile system and learned how to fire on targets that were pre-locked and also launching without lock. It's surprising how complicated but how simple the HARM system really is. On both missions, I had to do some evasion. This is by design. The tactics I used for evasion are those I learned from different YouTube videos, typically two different methods. Fly at 90 degrees to the threat source, get visual on the threat if you can, and use countermeasures, or go straight down, drop some countermeasures, trying to notch the missile, and then going cold and using some more countermeasures. Sometimes I combine these two methods. I decided that this would be a good time to practice some of the lessons we learned by running a mission. So I looked through the built-in mission list for one that wouldn't use anything we haven't learned, but would combine some of the lessons we had learned. I tried a couple of the instant action missions, but they were not a really good option for this because they didn't always include the variety of tasks. None of them had you take off and land, so on and so forth. So I went with the mission island style on the Persian Gulf map. As I get started with the startup, which I've practiced a few times, I might add. In this mission, I act as a strike package, hitting some Hawk missile systems after the seed, or suppression of enemy air defense, took out the radar. This is using dumb bombs, which at this point we have practiced. I'm using a quick startup process I found on YouTube. I'll link it below in the description. It's on a channel called Bogey, which I highly recommend. I actually miss a couple of things on this run, like turning on my RWR. Oops. There are a couple of things I added that I found in other startups. If you are looking for the perfect realism that this sim can provide, there are plenty of videos out there to do the complete startup. But since we're in a sim where things don't fail on the ramp, that I'm aware of anyway, I don't really run the tests. I get taxied out and take off with my wingman. After this takeoff, I decide to print out a cap for my gear switch so that I can more easily identify it. I nearly oversped my gear. I will be doing a video on this printable cap. Getting a bit better with navigation and managing the F-16's navigation systems, but I am firmly still in the novice category. In this mission, calls for us to hold at a waypoint until go time. So I put the aircraft in a bank and make a big circle. This happened to be a good diameter for the circle because it took me about 5 minutes to complete it. And that gave us the signal to proceed. I got a call out from AWACS that there are several pop-up groups here. I really need to learn more about locating things based on bullseye. This is something I'm going to have to watch some videos on, but don't worry, I will recommend them to you. I was able to locate my enemy fighters that were on an intercept course. I checked their IFF and got a good solution on the first fighter. I fired an AMRAM at it. I wait till it goes pitbull and then switch targets, and Foxx.3 on the second target. I should have bugged both targets and had an easier time swapping between them, but this is also something I need to practice. Splash! My first kill in a real mission with the Viper. I made a big circle, gaining some altitude. My wingman said that he had fired on Foxx.3 on another fighter, and he splashed it. Unfortunately, my wingman got too close to the SAM sites while engaging his bandit and got shot down. I turn towards the target and fly past it on accident. Back looking the right direction, I'm really trying to find these targets using the ground radar, but I really need more practice with it and CCRP. So I try CCIP. In VR, it can be a real challenge to identify targets. Altitude. And I miss. I almost get tagged by an IGLA. So I might have to turn on the labels. Not the full labels, just the dot. Just helps in VR. We'll see what happens. I try again, but I'm not so lucky. The Iglis smacks me, and I bail. So obviously I still need a ton of practice. I could have just kept running the mission over and over until I got it, but I wanted you guys to have a realistic view of the learning process. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to try some instant action runs to practice with the systems. I'll record them, and as I get used to the different systems, little pieces here and there for you, I'll share those with you. I still have a few trainings left, which I'll include in the next episode. Also in the next episode, we're going to give the shot at that dreaded air-to-air refueling challenge. I've connected with the F-16 before. It wasn't great, but I did it. Now, with the practice I've had in formation flying, maybe it'll be better. Do you guys like these kind of videos? Are they helpful? I do certainly hope that you enjoy them. Please let me know down in the comment section below. I want to provide you all with content that is both helpful and is content that you enjoy, because that's the goal of this channel. Please subscribe. It really does help me out. If you have the means and the desire, feel free to donate via Patreon in the link below. You can also purchase merch, which does give us some money for the channel. The link is in the description below, and you can go get your We Blow Stuff Up Here merch. This is a non-profit channel, so anything donated will be used to benefit the channel directly. Stay tuned for our upcoming videos. We've got a review of the HP Reverb G2 coming next. We've got some more F-16 Learn With Me videos, and our in-depth review of the Orion F-16EX HOTAS. In addition to all that, we have several comparison videos coming, so it's a great time to watch Falcons Ledge. Fly safe, have fun, and as always, have a great day.